Hi Rasmanites, just a quick intro before the intro here, as this is old stock footage that's been ready since Christmas of 2011, and I'm a horrible person for not getting it up before now, but it was just a case where so many things were happening, mostly my job at Handi Enterprises Inc, which of course I'll get into details about them in a minute, as that's another reason that I had to slap this intro before the intro. But because this is all stock footage, I just wanted to simply remind everybody that the only reason I didn't redo this for the rest of this series, or redo these, sorry, for the rest of the series, is because I'm of the old school belief that a review is never as good as you did it the first time, when you first watch something and then go and review it. And even though this was my second full-time viewing of the Dollhouse TV series, I still feel like my reviews stand up well, and if I redid them, they wouldn't. So just please keep in mind that the reason you're seeing an old room set up with an old mic and my old camera model is just because I felt like I was bringing you the best option possible for the remainder of this series. Otherwise I would have redone it all for the remainder. And because I didn't choose to redo everything for the remainder, I also need to remind you of the official sponsors of this program and channel: Handi Enterprises Inc, your productivity and communication specialist. All company contact information is down below in the description box. I am currently in the middle of a 200 unique person growth challenge, so if you want to help me earn a $200 bonus by year's end, please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow and like all of the social media. And also, if you're interested in becoming a full YouTube partner through my network, Full Screen, if you meet all the criteria, you can do so by clicking my referral link, which is also down below in the description box. Now, on to the remaining television show portion of Dollhouse Season 2. And then when we get to the comic arc, you'll see new content once again, meaning the Yeti microphone and this setup. What's up, Rasmanites? Dollhouse Season 2 continues as I review Episode 9, Stop Loss. Today, on the Razman's Reality. This is an episode about Victor. Victor's contract is up, and he's given back his life as Anthony, a former soldier. And about 15 minutes into the episode, after Echo helps Sierra realize that Victor's not returning because he's been given his life back, he is attacked, Victor is, by a bunch of hooded guys. And it turns out that these guys are soldiers. And they're former soldiers of his, friends of his, at least one of them is. And they all have something in common with them. They all were officially wiped from service, and they have no official existence according to the United States government. So what ends up happening is that Victor agrees to sign up, not knowing, Anthony can never get used to calling dolls by their own name when they change. But Anthony agrees to sign up, and he is shot in the neck with something, and it turns out that this entire group works for Rossum as elite soldiers, and that they work as one collective mind, sort of like a beehive. So obviously, once the Dollhouse gets wind of this, because the policy is to keep an active architecture intact for 2 months to make sure there's no residual effects from being a doll. So once Topher gets wind of what's happened to Anthony, he and Boyd try to free him. Adele wants nothing to do with it because she's still messed up about being rejected by him as Miss Lonelyheart, and obviously she's still obsessed with keeping Echo under her thumb. So Boyd makes the call, goes behind Adele's back, and Boyd, Echo, and Topher launch a mission to free Anthony from the hive. Of course, they realize that, or Echo does, more specifically, realizes that they can't do this on their own. There's one key element they're going to need if they're going to convince Anthony that they're on his side, and that is Priya. So Priya is once again imprinted with her real personality, and they go off into the field to save Anthony. It takes some convincing, but eventually Anthony fights his programming, and they get him out. Echo imprints herself with the mind of the hive to help the cause, convinces them to go home, so she stops the entire army. On the way back to the Dollhouse, Echo tells Priya and Anthony to leave, that there's no reason for them to wait until she frees the entire Dollhouse. They're free. They start to leave, and then suddenly, zap, and all their minds go blank. Adele is woken up after learning about what has happened, and zapped them all with Topher's device. She then straps Echo to the chair and tells her that she brings a wake of destruction wherever she goes. She's trying to undermine her and dragging everyone else into it, and there's only one place for a doll as irreparably damaged as she is: the attic. So that is how the show ends for this episode. Very, very good episode. A lot of character growth for Anthony and Priya's characters, and obviously Adele is just losing her mind more and more and more, while Boyd, Topher, and Echo continue to remain the only forces for good. And so that is episode 9, Stop Loss. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style, it's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.